right, what is going on, everybody, man? Cuba from Rundown Wrestling here. So even though this is Wednesday, I'm going to be covering Raw, man. I should have did it, honestly, yesterday. I had a bunch of stuff going on, so I'm getting it done today. Better late than never, right? So here we go, man. Raw on Netflix for March 2nd, right, of 2026. So starting out, right, we got the opening segment, and I have my notes here. So opening segment, we got the Vision promo and Paul Heyman's ass, penguin ass. Shout out to Paul Heyman, 60 years old, getting stumped. Paul Heyman getting stumped, right? The show kicked off with Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory from the Vision in the ring, right? They cut a promo aiming to go after Seth Rollins for interfering at Elimination Chamber. And by the way, I still haven't watched Elimination Chamber. So it might be too late to cover that, but I'm going to get this Raw one done. So the Vision vowed to take Rollins out and eventually force the show to start with this confrontation, right? Because they were saying, "Oh, we're not gonna leave until Seth Rollins comes out here." Yada yada yada, right? So of course Adam Pearce comes out. He said basically that's not gonna happen. So a series of masked men distract the Vision until Rollins finally emerged, attacks Heyman, and delivers a stomp. He hits him with a chair because apparently they was in Indianapolis, right? Indiana. I'm surprised we didn't see Pat McAfee on this show. That's crazy. So, yeah, that's one thing I was ruling out. Because every time they're in Indianapolis or Indiana, he's there. So he must have had some other gig or whatnot. So apparently that's where Seth Rollins hit Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns in 2014, I think. 2014 or 2015. So I think 2014. But, yeah, man, and basically the same thing happened with Seth Rollins hitting Paul Heyman with the chair and giving him a stomp. Medical personnel loaded a bloodied Heyman into the ambulance, which was then driven off by LA Knight, creating a shocking visual to open the show and escalating the feud. So, yeah, LA Knight is crazy. It was a good Raw. I'm not going to lie. It was one of the best ones or better ones. Raw opens, right? Openers. LA Knight was in the... he was in the ambulance, right? And I just seen a video on Instagram. He up there just having the time of his life just driving the ambulance, man. Shout out to LA Knight. And of course, Jimmy Uso comes out and he attacks Austin Theory before that happens. Because he thinks that the Vision has something to do with Jey Uso getting attacked last Friday and putting him in the ambulance. So, but I don't even think it was them. It was probably maybe Sami Zayn. It was somebody. So we will eventually get that in the weeks, if not months later, or leading up to WrestleMania, just like how they did Jade Cargill and Naomi, right, last year. And so now we have number 2 here. So we got the first match of the show. So we got Gunther versus Dragon Lee. Now this match, to me, this is probably the best match of the night, right? Opening match. These two went crazy, bro. I'm talking about, shout out to Dragon Lee, man. And I like Gunther. Gunther's just one of my favorite wrestlers right now. But Dragon Lee, bro, like, man, he was doing some stuff in there. Him and Gunther, bro, the chops, certain moves. Bro, this dude Gunther had a back body drop on Dragon Lee outside in the over the barricade, bro. A thing of beauty, right? And so, man, bro, here we go. Gunther faced Dragon Lee in a hard-hitting singles match. Lee attacked Gunther before the bell and throughout the match showed aggression and offense. Gunther eventually wore Lee down, applying a sleeper hold and forced a submission, securing the win. While he did that with the rear naked choke or the sleeper hold, he took his mask off before he did it, and Lee immediately submitted. So, man, shout out to him, bro. Great. Because Dragon Lee is still upset that Gunther was retired AJ Styles, right? And then they had AJ Styles celebration last week. We all know he's going to the Hall of Fame. Shout out to AJ Styles. But here we go, man. Then we got backstage mid-show segments. Asuka and Kairi Sane. Asuka be rated. It's so funny, bro. Asuka be rated. Kairi Sane backstage after Sane's loss at Elimination Chamber. Sane appeared unresponsive and emotional with AJ Lee briefly checking in on her, right? Rusev versus Obafemi, a standoff. Rusev confronted Obafemi at ringside, right? The two traded shots before Darula intervened, sending Rusev away. So yeah, Rusev called out Obafemi. They've kind of been having these stare downs for weeks now. And so eventually I think we're going to get a match next Monday night. And I kind of hate how they're doing Rusev, man. This dude comes back and it's like you have him. He won some matches, right? But it's like, well, where are we going with Rusev, bro? Like Rusev Day is probably the best he's ever been. And you could say it's either that or when he debuted, when he was on the undefeated streak until he lost to Cena, right? But it just hasn't been the same for Rusev. Then when he, left AEW, it's just, man, he gonna end up leaving again. They're gonna fire him again eventually, man. Then we got Bayley and Lyra Valkyria backstage. Bayley and Lyra discuss possible challenges in heading to Adam Pearce about opportunities on Raw. Io Sky appeared on the way out, creating tension for the future women's division scenes. So this is regarding AJ Lee's. They didn't even put that on here. That's crazy. They didn't even put AJ Lee's promo. So basically, AJ Lee had a promo, right? And her promo is really it's not good at all, bro. It's like she tries to be funny and tries to get with the crowd, but it's like a bunch of sarcastic shit. It's like, man, like, what are we doing here? But we know that AJ Lee beat Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and then she issued basically open challenges, right? So that's what Bayley and Lyra was talking about. It was like, Lyra was telling Bayley, okay, since we're not going to have you miss back-to-back WrestleMania, so she wants Bayley to end up challenging AJ Lee for the championship. But then Bayley was like, oh no, I cost you the Women's Intercontinental Championship last year to Becky Lynch, so you should go. So then they end up both going to Adam Pearce, and that's when we see Io Sky coming out there. So we all know that Rhea Ripley won Elimination Chamber. She's going to be facing Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. So this comes after they lost their tag team championships to Lash Legend and Nia Jax. So now with what was that little name they gave him? Rio Sky or something like that? Rio, yeah. So now with Rio basically done, right? They split on good terms. Rhea's going for the championship from Jade, and Io is going after the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That's how we're looking at it, with the women right there talking about it. Are we getting a Fatal 4? What are we doing here? But anyway, that's that. So now we have the second match of the show. Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory. Jimmy Uso battled Austin Theory. Uso brought intensity early with dives and strikes. Logan Paul interfered, disrupting the match and causing a disqualification, giving Uso the official victory. After the bell, Paul and Theory double-teamed Uso until Jay Uso hit the ring with a crutch. And the Usos clean house, hitting both Paul and Theory with double-team offense. So, yeah, we see Jay Uso back on here, right? Because if you look at the news, wrestling news or tabloids or whatever, the news, what's Wrestling Observer and a bunch of other wrestling articles, Bronson Reed was supposed to be in Elimination Chamber. That plan diverted once he got hurt and tore his bicep. So now that gave Jey Uso the win. So now they had to figure out how to because he wasn't scheduled to be at Elimination Chamber. So they had to figure out something to get another Vision member in there. So that's how we was able to get Logan Paul in Elimination Chamber. And since I didn't watch, apparently ain't like what he said, he eliminated 3 people in Elimination Chamber. I seen him hit Javon Evans with the pulverizer. It looked like he snapped his neck. I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy. Solid move, but that was crazy. But yeah, man. So they had to go with another plan. He wasn't scheduled to be there. Have it set to have him get beat up and taken in an ambulance, and that's that. So what else we have here? So now we got backstage, and yeah, that Dan House. I seen him come out the freaking box. You had that build up for like 3 weeks. All of a sudden, Danhausen comes out the box. We up here thinking it's Chris Jericho, Bianca Belair, somebody, but it's this freaking guy. So backstage, right, Danhausen meets Adam Pearce, and we know Danhausen from AEW. Danhausen had a quirky backstage segment with Adam Pearce, demanding comedic items like a blimp, whatever that is. I guess that's his catchphrase. I've seen Danhausen, and I'm whatever. Pearce introduced Danhausen to the Judgment Day, who were unimpressed. Danhausen then cursed Dominik Mysterio before disappearing, adding heat to upcoming matches. So as soon as he cursed, that's his thing, he likes to curse people. As soon as he cursed Dom Mysterio, already knew Penta was going to win, right? That already gave us the observation that, Penta's going to end up winning his first championship from Dominik Mysterio. So there we go. Now we got the next segment here, number 6. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Rhea Ripley addressed her upcoming challenge at WrestleMania 42 for the Women's Championship and praised Io Sky as a partner and friend, setting up both women's storyline, like I mentioned before. So they're both splitting, going after their respective championships. Rhea honestly might stick to SmackDown because she's really on Raw, but since they were the tag team champions, they get to go on Raw and SmackDown and defend their championships. So now they changed this. We're going to see more Rhea on SmackDown while you got Liv and Stephanie on Raw. So, and then Io stays on Raw, so they're going to be split up. So now we got the last match of the night, the WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Penta challenged Dominik Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Early offense favored Mysterio, but Penta battled back with strikes and suplexes. After interference attempts from JD McDonough and a brief interaction with Finn Balor, Penta hit the Mexican Destroyer to pin Dominik Mysterio. And we got Penta is the new WWE Intercontinental Champion. So they didn't have it on here on the note. So basically you have the Judgment Day, and we've noticed a rift, honestly, going back to last year, bro. It's always a rift with these guys. They make up. Something else goes on, make up. So now Finn Balor, he lost to CM Punk. So now he's not going to challenge for the championship for right now. But from the looks of it, he's probably going to get into it with Penta, and he's probably going to get his Intercontinental Championship, honestly. Or he might get into a rivalry with Dom. So more than likely he is, because Dom's going to be like, you cost me my championship. Even though Dom really, he's a heel, right? He wants guys to help him out. Finn was like, no, you got it. You got it. We don't need to help him. We're just going to watch you do your thing. And so the moment he found an opportunity, he told JD to get the hammer and cheat. Finn was like, nah, we don't need it. He said he could do it himself. And so that just caused a commotion. And before you know it, like I said, Penta hit the Mexican Destroyer to pin Dominik Mysterio. So we got segment Raw fallouts and announcements. After the title match, it was noted that SmackDown GM Nick Aldis announced the championship defense for Drew McIntyre against Cody Rhodes later in the week on SmackDown. I will watch that on my VPN. But yeah, shout out to Nick Aldis, bro. What are they doing with Nick Aldis? Is he still going? Is this going to be like some Daniel Bryan stuff when Daniel Bryan was the SmackDown GM and then he wanted to wrestle, but they made him GM because he just came back from a neck injury? So are they like slowly pivoting to that Nick Aldis GM, but then he's going to be on the roster? How are they going to do this? Because this dude's jacked as hell, and he's not even 40 yet. So is Nick Aldis kind of retired at this point? I have no idea. But yeah, that segment with him and Drew McIntyre, bro, was gold. You got Nick Aldis and Drew McIntyre, and then when Braun Breaker was still on Raw, you had Adam Pearce and Braun Breaker, bro. Like, these GMs going at it with their like respective heels, talents are gold. So then we got the closing segment here, right? Oh, and they forgot some other matches. El Grande Americano versus Rayo Americano. How come it didn't have that on here? Why would it miss that? Oh, yeah, okay, let me get to that first. El Grande Americano versus Rayo Americano. Just the same thing. They need to get this Grande Americano, the original Grande Americano. Just turn back into Chad Gable, bro. It was kind of done with Chad Gable once he got injured. And just keep it on Ludwig Kaiser, but eventually I'm pretty sure he doesn't really want to be Grande Americano anymore. He wants to do his own thing. He's killing it. Both of them are killing it. But, I mean, get it off of Chad Gable, bro. Get it off of him. So now we got the closing segment, right? Roman Reigns and CM Punk face off. So we all know Roman Reigns, right, won the Royal Rumble. He's going to be facing CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. I guess it's going to be either night 1 or is it night 2? I'm going to say night 2. Night 2 of WrestleMania. Yeah, so we all know, part-time he's going to be on Raw on selected dates. So, I don't know. I personally want CM Punk to win the championship. I'm kind of done with WWE putting championships on part-timers. Because, again, Roman Reigns doesn't even need it. He doesn't need it. I don't know why they had to win the Rumble anyway, unless they want their top guys to win 2 Royal Rumbles now. Cena did it. Orton did it. Now Roman did it. Cody did it. So, whatever. Roman Reigns makes his way to the ring. First Raw appearance in about a month. I thought it was about 2 weeks. World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk interrupted. The two engaged in a tense promo exchange. Punk played mind games, reminding Reigns of past rivalries and asserting dominance in their WrestleMania 42 build-up, while Reigns pushed back, insisting he always rises above. The exchange set the stage for their marquee WrestleMania clash without a physical interaction or altercation, keeping anticipation high. So these guys are killing it in the ring, right, on their promos. Roman, of course, stepped his promo game up to me ever since he became the Tribal Chief. We all know CM Punk has always been like a top tier elite on the microphone, verbally just destroying guys. And so Roman Reigns did, to me, he kind of beat CM Punk the last time they was in the ring. This time, to me, it was kind of equal. Not going to lie. But the main thing that people are talking about was CM Punk. Oh, because Roman kept calling him Phil, right? So we going by government names. You can see CM Punk kind of mouthing, oh, we going by government. So, just saying that, oh, yeah, well, this was last week. Oh, I brought you in, right? They would check with me to see, oh, we going to let you back in. CM Punk up here saying, oh, well, I was the leader, right? I brought you in. And Roman was like, oh, well, you didn't really bring me in. You brought in the other two. So, and what was it that Roman had said? He said, oh, I forgot exactly what he said, but the main line was CM Punk up there saying, I'm gonna bury you next to your dad. And that right there was like, whoa, so now we got a lot of the family members getting into it, right? They want CM Punk's head on a spike. So, hey, man. That was fire, bro. That was the best segment of the night. Gunther and Dragon Lee was the best match of the night. And, yeah, man, that is it for, the March 2nd, 2026 episode of Monday Night Raw. Again, this is Cuba from Rundown Wrestling. And check me out on my other channels at Rundown Productions. And also, I got a gaming channel. Even though I do not do commentary on there, it's just straight walkthroughs, right? So go check those out. Those are my 3 channels. Check them out in the description. Check them out on the homepage. Hey, man, we getting it. Anyway, I'm out of here. Catch you all later, man.